Als het allemaal zo fijn afgesteld is, waarom al die natuurrampen?
The laws of physics are fine-tuned. And actually, you see this, a hint of this in Genesis 3, where God told Adam and Eve after they rebelled against him, from now on, because of your decision to rebel, you're going to experience more pain, more work. And the book of Ecclesiastes adds, you'll also experience the wasting of your time. And we are biologically designed. We do not like extra work, extra pain, or wasted time. And if you look at the laws of thermodynamics, gravity, and electromagnetism, they are fine-tuned to ensure that the more evil we commit, the more pain we're going to experience, the more work we're going to have to do to undo the damage that results from our evil, and the more time we're going to waste. So the laws of physics are actually motivating us to avoid evil and pursue virtue. And the process discover we do not have the resources within ourselves to live a perfectly virtuous life. However, there's a God out there that loves us to such a great degree, is so powerful and so wise, that he has made a way to do for us what we can't do for ourselves. That's the heart of the Christian message, that we're all stuck in this problem that we can't live a morally perfect life. But there's a God out there who's prepared to do for us what we can't do for ourselves. He actually came to our planet Earth, humbled himself, and took upon himself the atonement price for the evil that we've committed. And what Jesus did on the cross is basically made a way for him to trade his moral perfection for a moral imperfection. I mean, that's the heart of the gospel. Having the Creator do for you what you can't do for yourself. The laws of physics actually motivate you in that particular direction. But because of gravity, electromagnetism, and thermodynamics, as you see in John 16:33, in this world you'll have tribulation, but take heart, I've overcome the world. As a physicist, sometimes I paraphrase that text. In this world you'll have thermodynamics, but take heart, I've overcome thermodynamics.
Right.
With thermodynamics, gravity, and electromagnetism,
I like that.
Things will decay. I mean, that's kind of the law of entropy. Everything in the universe is decaying. And sometimes I've addressed audiences where people dispute that, and I say, hey, if you need proof, look at one another. We're all evidence that we're experiencing ongoing decay. But the Bible tells us that decay is temporary. Gravity is temporary. Thermodynamics is temporary. Romans 8:23, the moment the full number of the redeemed humans that God intends to redeem have in fact been redeemed, then the law of decay will no longer operate. And so it's there in place until God completes his work of redemption. And when we look at earthquakes, what you notice is we live on a planet where the earthquake number and intensity is optimized for our existence. I mean, if we had fewer earthquakes with less intensity, this planet would no longer be able to sustain advanced life. Now, if we got more earthquakes with greater intensity, we would suffer more. And likewise, that's true of hurricanes. Hurricanes act as a thermostat to keep the planet from getting too hot. And so it kind of cools things down when things get too hot. Make sure the oceans don't get too hot. If it wasn't for hurricanes, the heat in the tropical part of the oceans would get so hot that it would kill all the fish. We need those fish. Hurricanes also bring chlorophyll into the coastal regions. So there's a lot of benefits we get from hurricanes. Half the rainfall on the eastern coast of the United States comes to us thanks to hurricanes. And so without that rainfall, we wouldn't be able to grow the food that we grow. That's true of wildfires. It's true of tsunamis, earthquakes, everything we call a natural disaster. Actually, we can see it's optimized. Now, God could eliminate it entirely, but it would mean you now have a universe without thermodynamics, gravity, and electromagnetism. And God's far more interested in eradicating evil and enhancing our free will capability to experience love. And, you were also mentioning, well, couldn't God have made sure that we would have less rebellion? He could have. He could have given all of us humans a much weaker free will. But with a weaker free will, you get weak love. God wanted beings capable of expressing and experiencing strong love, which is why he gave us strong free will. And he knew that there would be people who would use their strong free will for evil intents, which is why he designed the universe in advance. He knew all along that humans would rebel against him, but he designed the universe before he created it, before he created us humans, with all the physics so that he could put into place the eradication of evil and suffering. As it tells us in the Bible, God began his works of redemption before he created anything at all. And so all the characteristics, that's why I put this in design to the core. Given that the Bible says he began his works of redemption before he created anything at all, as a scientist, I would anticipate everything I measure within the universe and all of its components would have that earmark of being designed for the purpose of redemption. And indeed,